So, as a part of Skyfi online courses, we are going to design today the mat foundation for a 23-story building which we have already designed. So, this is the building which we have analyzed and designed in the E-type. So, now we are going to design a foundation for this particular 23-story building. So, if I go to the base level, the distance between the center to center of the columns is 6 meter, and there are four number of columns in each direction. So, there will be 18-meter distance in X direction and 18-meter distance in Y direction. And we have already analyzed this particular building and designed. So we can go to display, we can go to show tables, and we can select the analysis results, frame results for the column forces. We can select the column forces which are there in the lowermost column of the building. So we can select the stories. We can go to story 1, then we'll select the columns, then we'll give the load as only dead load, then we'll select the station as 0 station, and for this particular condition you have the loads for the column C1 to C16 for the dead load. Similarly, you can get the loads for the live load, and you can get the loads for the live load for the similar columns, and we have already tabulated these columns in the PDF. So for each column you have a size and the dead and live load, so you can see the sizes of the columns and the loads on those particular columns. So you can see that only the columns which is 6 C6 C7 C10 and C11 are of 600 by 600, which are the interior columns, and all the other columns are of 500 by 500. So we'll give the sizes of these loads, size of these columns and the loads accordingly, and we'll try to analyze these building uh, foundation for this particular loading in the safe. Now we will be designing the mat foundation by keeping a 2 meter offset on all around sides for these columns. So the offset on each side will be of 2 meters, or the total width of the mat foundation will be 6 into 3 is 18 plus 2 and plus 2, so that will be 22-meter in the X direction and 22-meter in the Y direction. So accordingly we'll try to design the footing. So we'll go to file, we'll create a new model for this, then we'll change the IS code, then we'll go to the metric system for the input. So we'll give the input as metric system, then we'll change the design preferences, we'll change the minimum cover slab thickness or slab cover to 50 mm, and we'll change the preferred bias size to 25 millimeter. We'll click OK. We'll click on the grid lines. Since we know that the width of footing mat foundation is 22 meter, we'll give the grid lines to 23 numbers in X direction and 23 numbers in Y direction. We'll keep the spacing between the grids as 1 meter in X and Y directions, and we'll click OK. Now we'll go to define, and we'll define the materials. We'll click on add new material. We'll give this as M40. Then we'll change the material type to concrete. Then the weight per unit volume is 25. Modulus of elasticity will be 31622.78. Then Poisson's ratio will be as it is. Coefficient of thermal expansion will be 0.00000055, and the compressive strength will be 40. We'll click OK. Now we'll go to add new material again. We'll give HYSD 500. And then we'll change the material type to rebar. And then we'll keep the weight per unit volume as it is. We'll change the value of E to 2 into 10 to the power 5. Then Fy is 500 and Fu will be 545. Then we'll go to define. We'll try to give the soil subgrade properties. Now the soil subgrade property will be based upon the SPC of 300 kilonewton per meter square and allowable permissible settlement of 1 centimeter. So considering that, it will be 3 into 10 to the power 4. and we'll give the property as soil of 300 SBC and we'll click OK. Now we will define the mat property. We'll go to define the slab property. We'll click add new property. We'll give this name as mat. Change the material to M40. Change the type to mat and the thickness to 600 mm. And we'll click OK. Then we'll go to define again. We'll define the column properties. As we have seen earlier that the peripheral columns are of 500 by 500 and internal columns of 600 by 600. We'll give the properties accordingly. So column 500 by 500. Change the proper material to M40. Change the sizes to 500 by 500 and click OK. Similarly, add new property. Then columns of 600 by 600. Then the material type to M40. Side is to 600 by 600 and click OK. OK. So now we'll try to draw the mat foundation and the columns on this particular grid line. So we'll go to draw slab area, rectangular area, since the mat foundation is of 22 meter by 22 meter. So first we'll draw the 18 meter mat and then we'll try to expand it. So we'll go to 2 by 2 point and then we'll try to extend it to 18 meter by 18 meter. So once I get that, I'll click. So you can see that the mat of 18 meter by 18 meter has been created. Now we'll try to draw the columns on this particular mat. So the peripheral columns will be along this line and the central columns will be inside. So we'll go to draw columns. Then the column property below is none. Column property above is 500 by 500. Height below is 0. Height above is 2 meter. The first column will be exactly at a distance of 2 meter by 2 meter on x and y direction. So we'll click on that. And then the second column will be at a distance of 6 meter. And then likewise at a spacing of 6 meter we will draw each and every column. Once you draw the peripheral columns, then we will try to draw the internal columns which are of 600 by 600. Then once you draw the columns, now we'll try to expand the mat foundation by 2000 mm or 2 meter all around side. So we'll select the mat foundation. You can see that one area is selected. We'll go to edit areas, expand and shrink, and by 2000 mm. We'll click OK. So now the mat foundation has been expanded by 2 meter all around sides. Now we'll try to apply the soil subgrade property to this particular mat foundation. So select the mat foundation again, go to assign, support data, soil properties, and then you assign the soil which is having a 300 SBC. Click OK, and you can see that the soil subgrade properties have been assigned as a support. Then we'll try to draw the column strips to this particular footing. The column strip has to be 0.25 into L1. L1 is 18 meter distance between the first and the last column, which is of 0.25 into 18 will be 4.5. But to be on safer side, we will be giving the column strip 4 meter in each of the directions. So we'll go to draw strips. Then the layer will be A column strip. The distance will be 4 meter. And then we'll first draw the A strip, which will be in the X direction. And then we'll change the layer to B, that will be in the Y direction. Once you draw the strips, now we'll check the reinforcement provided or assigned to the particular structural element. So first we'll select the add foundation, right click on that. You can see in the design part the material has to be HYSD 500. Click OK, click OK. Similarly check for all the strips, so select each strip and change the material, rebar material, to HYSD 500. Now once you complete for the strips, then you check for the columns. Right click on the column and check the rebar material, which is HYSD 500 here. Similarly for this, so check for each and every column. Once you check the assignment, then it is the loading part that we have to apply on this particular columns. So first we will apply the dead loads on all the peripheral columns, dead loads on the internal columns, and then we'll go for the live loads on other columns. So first we'll start with the column 1 and we will apply the dead load on these columns. So referring to this particular table, we will be applying the loads on each and every column as a dead load and as a live load according to their sizes. So now we will apply the dead load on the peripheral columns. So select the center of the column, go to assign load data, point load. Then you select the dead load, apply the load of 1770 for that particular column from the table that we have already seen, and change the size to 500 by 500. Click OK. Similarly, go for the next column, select the center point, assign load data, point load. Then you change the load value and click OK. So repeat this process for the rest of the peripheral columns. Once you complete the peripheral columns, then we will apply the loads for the internal columns which are of size 600 by 600. So select the column, to assign load data, point loads. Then you first change the sizes to 600 by 600. Then you apply the load of 4890 kilonewton. Similarly, select the second column to assign load data, point load, and apply the load. Repeat the process for the remaining columns. Once you complete the dead load part, then we have to go for the live loads for each and every column again. First we will go for the peripheral columns and then we will go to the internal columns. So select again the column, center of the column, then go to assign load data, point loads, change the name to live load, change the value of live load, then change the sizes which are of peripheral columns for 500 by 500. Then again repeat the same process for the remaining columns. So once we complete the peripheral columns, then we have to go for the internal columns. So select the internal column, go to assign load data, point load. Then you change the size to 600 by 600 first. Then you apply the live load. Click OK. Repeat this for the remaining columns. Once you apply the loads for dead and live for each and every column, you can go to three-dimensional view and you can see all the loads or the live load that were being applied on the columns. Similarly, you can go to show loads. You can select the load pattern. You can show the loading values and you can click and you can see the dead load values on each and every column. So again we'll go to the plane view, then we can see the extruded view of this. So set display options, go to extruded view, click OK, and if I go to three-dimensional view, you can see the extruded view of the matte foundation along with the columns. So again we'll go to set display options, remove the extrude view, we'll go to plan view. Now once you apply the dead load and live load, then we have to go for the load combination. So we'll go to define, then we'll check the load patterns. So there are dead and live. Then we'll go to load cases for dead and live. Then we'll go to load combinations. We'll click on add new combo. We will keep the load factor as 1.5 for dead load as well as for the live load, and this combination is for the strength criteria. We'll click OK, then add new combination, then we'll select dead load, live load, and we'll keep the scale factor as 1, and this is for the normal condition, initial condition and long term condition, and we'll click OK. So once we have applied the loads, strips, support data, we have to analyze this. So we'll go to run and run analysis. We'll save the foundation as mat footing. Once the analysis is complete, you can see the deformation values in this particular shape, and you can see the values in these particular tables. So you can see the deformation values. Now we will check the strip values, strip forces. So we'll go to display, show strip forces, then we will select the load combination 1, we'll select the moment layer A, we'll select show values on diagram, click apply, and now you can see the moment values along the column strips in the X direction. Similarly, if you select the layer B, you can see the moment values in the Y direction. Similarly, you can see the shear force values for the layer A and B. By selecting both the layers, you can see the shear force values and in the X direction as well as in the Y direction. Then we can go to display. We can see the SAB forces and stresses. So we can select the maximum moment values, and we can see the values of moments on the plane, and you can see the values over here which are of 10 to the power 3. So each moment is of 10 to the power 3 here. Then select the shear force values, and you can see the shear force values on this particular figure. Similarly, we can see the cracked widths. We can select the crack widths, going to the display options. We'll select the load combination 1, and we'll select the slab bottom face, apply, and we can see the values of crack widths. Similarly, you can see the slab top face, click apply, you can see the values of crack widths on the top surface. Now we'll design this particular footing. So we will go to run analysis and design. Once the design is complete, now we can go to display and show punching shear values. Now you can see the punching shear values are not less than 1. So we have to make sure that the footing depth or the mat foundation thickness is more than the assigned one, so that the punching shear values are less than equal to 1. So we'll unlock this model. We'll go to define slab properties, modify show property, and we will change the thickness to 1200, and we will click OK. So now again we will rerun the design. Once you run the design values, we'll go to display, and we can go to the punching shear design. Now you can see the values of punching shear less than 1. Once we complete this, we can go to display and show slab design, and you can impose the minimum reinforcement and click show values of controlling stations and click apply. And now you can see the values of reinforcement at the top and bottom for the column strips in the X direction. Similarly, if I select layer B, you can get the values of top and bottom reinforcement in the y direction. Once you complete this, then we will go for the detailing. So I'll go to run detailing. And now we can go to drawing component views, slab views, where you can see the individual slab views. Then you can see the top rebar plan, bottom rebar plan, sectional plan in the first direction and in the second direction, reinforcement profile in the layer A as well as in the layer B. Similarly, you can see the all rebar plans. So likewise, you can get the details. You can go to slab column curtailment. Here also mid strip curtailment. Then rebar shapes. Then you can select the framing plan. So likewise, you can get the drawing sheets that are required for the execution. And likewise, you can design the mat footing. So this completes the design of mat footing using the SAFE with the online courses of Skyfi online courses. So by using the videos of the Skyfi online courses, it is very easy to design the mat footing. Thank you.